What's going on, everyone? So, according to Brittany Vinyl, um, they posted, I have some tea about Scream 7. Apparently, Robbie is another famous TV star, and he's not younger. He's an older male Hispanic. The town isn't called Fallbrook. It's actually two words and includes a tree name, not in California either, which if it's about Sydney, then it wouldn't be in California. It would be in what she's in Seattle, I believe. Um, and then Mindy wears long dreads in the movie. So some pretty interesting stuff. And I figured, why not? Let's talk about it. Let's go over it. And obviously, of course, always take this stuff with a grain of salt. Nothing is confirmed. Nothing is 100% until it's actually filmed, shot, and ready to be seen. Right? People have seen it. So just keep it in mind. But this kind of ties into a lot of like the consensus rumors that have gone on. Although Robbie was supposed to be this kind of young, up and coming, looking for their break style of reporter, right? Gail Weathers appears, by all accounts, to be getting back into field work, getting back into just reporting. And there was supposed to be kind of this rival reporter that was originally kind of leaked or rumored to be younger, right? Be this younger reporter, kind of real wet behind the ears type, that was going to kind of be this rival to Gail and kind of pester Gail and kind of just bother her because she wants to do that, right? Like he wants to, Robbie, that is, wants to kind of take the next step and get their big break and look at this as an opportunity. And then Gail's there, and it's like, oh, like maybe I can, you know, excite Gail and whatever, and kind of use her as the big break. Well, now, according to, like I said, Brittany Vinyl, that like no, it's actually going to be a bit of an older male, right? That this is going to take place. There's going to be some rivals. Also, we got somebody that people are familiar with from Mark and Kelly. We got Mark, which is he's a real actual host for a talk show. So he's supposed to play a part. He's supposed to play a role. Does he play the role of that reporter? Does he play kind of like a smaller minor role? Does he play a role of significance? We'll see. But again, we know Gail is doing like field work. We know that she's going to be reporting again. There's been the casting calls for her cameraman and just like various things that have been kind of leaked about Gail being out there. And so that's exciting, right? Like we all would love to see kind of Gail get back to her roots, get back to being that just ruthless reporter that's willing to, where Randy and do what you're talking about. She's a reporter, she reports the news, right? Like, they stage the news. That's what they do type thing. So be kind of interesting to see how much classic Gail is back. How ruthless is she? How abrasive is she, right? Like I'm really excited to see that and kind of just get back to those roots. I think there's some real potential there. But and the fact that I even have to say this is frustrating in and of itself, but they better not do a Mrs. Loomis 2.0. They really better not do another Debbie Salt, right? Where but it's not the same. We gender swapped it. You never saw that coming, right? Like I really hope that they don't do that. I really hope that this Robbie character isn't Mrs. Loomis 2.0. Now, if you want to do the red herring element, if you want to kind of, because Scream 5 and 6 did a lot of carbon copy things and took from that, and I mean, even like the ghost faces and stuff like that were very Debbie Salt, Mrs. Loomis, good old fashioned revenge 2.0. If you want to kind of play into that and play into like the idea of like, hey, we've done this before, and then it's just this kind of red herring, and then they just rug pull us at the end and they're like, I gotcha, right? Like, fine, great, cool, I can live with that. But if they do a Debbie Salt, Mrs. Loomis 2.0, and Gail has this rival reporter, and the reporter secretly is in on it, and they're like, I am. The fact that like this is genuinely a conversation, and I genuinely am concerned and need to have a conversation about this tells me should tell you everything you need to know, because it's just like, again, they've done this. We've seen them do this twice already. right? Can we please not do this? Can we not go for number 3 this time? Can we not like, oh, well, wait, now we get to do, like, no, please don't do it. Just stay the course, please. Just, you know, you don't have to get creative, right? Like, again, if you want it to be the red herring, you want this Robbie guy to just be very questionable, and all of us think that it's Mrs. Loomis 2.0. That they're doing Debbie Salt again. Here we go. This is clear. This is obvious. And then it's like, no, he dies like towards the end or something. Perfect, right? Cool. I'm with it. Have like a Gail and like a Kenny type character. However you want to approach it, as long as it's not like a carbon copy of what we've already saw. And they're just like, oh, but we gender swapped it this time. Last time it was a girl, right? This time it's a male, right? Like, please don't do that, right? Be more outside of the box, be more thoughtful, and think it through a little more. But to kind of cover the other elements, the other part of it, well, the Fallbrook part, that was something that was rumored, and there was like this image that you saw not with Sydney and Ghostface on. It was just the psychiatric hospital part. I just pulled this from the thumbnail of my video that I made. But there was supposed to be this like Fallbrook psychiatric hospital. Somebody found or was taking pictures or whatever. Right? Again, take all this stuff with a grain of salt. The town itself might not be called Fallbrook. Or so here's the thing, right? Like, is the psychiatric hospital in the same town as Sidney Prescott, or is it in a different town? Right? Because it's very possible that the movie takes place in a different town, right? Like, it says that it's supposed to, like, it's multiple, it's two names, and one of them is supposed to be like a tree. If it's like, whatever, Wake Sequoia or whatever, right? It's like, okay, that could be the name of the town that Sydney's in and that this takes place in, but where the psychiatric patient escaped from could be Fallbrook, right? Like, that could be where it's at. That could be how they, kind of justify this or explain it. So, I mean, the photos that were going around that were supposedly taken, like, that very well could still be true, right? You never know, again, what their outcome is going to be and how they're going to approach it. And if they're going to have multiple locations in multiple towns and all that stuff, where, we'll see, right? As far as psychiatric thing goes, but, I could see it being some other name, or maybe Fallbrook was just kind of like code, or maybe they were going to keep it and they changed it, right? There's a million things that they can do, and a million ways they can go about this. So, take that stuff and keep that stuff in mind. But, and then lastly, Jasmine Savoy Brown, it's gonna be supposedly she's gonna have dreads for this upcoming Scream film, which is cool because then she'll have like a different look, a different aesthetic in each Scream movie, right? So it'll be kind of nice that, like, she's kind of evolved with each film, right? Has that different look, kind of like, like each film is almost like a new start for her in a lot of ways, and then Ghostface pops back up, and it's like, oh well, there goes that new start. Right? Did you enjoy your new beginning for a week? Okay, well, now back to business. Now back to Ghostface terrorizing and trying to destroy. So, I think all these things are cool little tidbits that I kind of wanted to go over and talk about. But as always, this is a discussion, and I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? What'd you make of this news? How do you feel about this news? Are you excited for any of these things in particular? Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are. As always, let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot as we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.